I'd like everybody to come in really close now. It's very deep when we do things like this, isn't it? Everyone feel that? And I'm aware that even with the noises of the heater and the outside noises, it's possible to go really deep. And then afterwards there's the sound of the instruments and the sound of the music is still with us. There's a shift in the energy. It's like a magical realm has been tapped into. Is everyone aware of it? You feel it? Someone once told me that it's possible to go places and using sound and using ceremony and using ritual and all sorts of other techniques probably as well. It's possible to hear the sound of a place and hear the sound of the place breathing and dreaming. And our ancestors knew how to do this, and this is what we're remembering to do now as well. And when we can hear the sound of the place, then we can tune our voices and we can tune our instruments and our songs to the sound of that place. And we can choose frequencies which are in harmony with the place. And by doing this, then we create more sound and more harmony, and it magnifies the energy of the place. Now this is a good thing to do. And in the modern world that we live in now, there are so many other noises that are not in keeping with the harmony of the landscape and the harmony of nature. And those sounds have the opposite effect of breaking down and fragmenting the harmony of like the matrix of life. And so what I go around the world telling people is that we have a responsibility to the rest of life on the planet to create as much harmony as we can by singing the songs in harmony with the place where we are. And to do this, and we just need to open ourselves and receive and listen to the sound of the place. And it's very easy after a while. You practice it and you can feel when you're not in pitch and not in harmony. Now, one time I was traveling in Arizona and I got invited into this ceremony with the Hopi Indians. And the Hopi called me into the kiva and they said, hey, let's play songs together. And they understand what I'm talking about because they've been taught this from their ancestors for generations and generations. They have an inbuilt knowing, as we do. We also know this, but we sometimes forget. And so at the moment we're just remembering. And it's a beautiful journey. And the Hopi, he said, inside the kiva, they open a slab of stone. They slide it across on the floor. And underneath this big slab of stone is a hole in the ground. And this little hole is called the sipapu. And from the sipapu emerge the spirits of the earth. And inside there, the spirits of the earth, they mix with the sage smoke and the sweet grass and the cedar. And they mix with the prayers of the people. And the spirits of the earth, they mix with the songs of the people. And in this dreamtime space, the Hopi told me about their prophecy. And they said, in the beginning of time, the world was created from sound. In the beginning was word. And from the first vibration that created from sound came the first murmurings of the formation of matter. And from this emerged the mountains and the rivers and the trees and the rocks and the animals, and eventually, of course, the two-leggeds. And we started spreading far and wide across the planet. And as we went, everybody understood that we had to sing the songs of the Creator. And so the people sang the songs of the Creator as they fed themselves and they nurtured themselves. And life was good on Mother Earth. Life was sweet. The songs were kind and gentle. But a few people got busy and they forgot to sing the songs. And they forgot the songs. And after a while, chaos started to spread across the world. And so the Great Spirit, in its mighty wisdom, decided it was time for a purification ritual. And those people that remembered to sing the songs were taken by the termite people, by the ant beings, and they put them down inside the ants' nests, inside the kivas, and they shut the stone hatch, and above the surface of the earth the world was purged with a mighty flood. And inside the kiva, the ant people gave everything that they had to keep the people alive, and inside there they sang the songs. They sang the songs that kept the harmony, until such time as the ants were nearly dying, and they gave everything that they had until their waistlines were tiny. And eventually the moment arose when Spirit said, okay, it's time. And the termite people pushed a reed up through the roof of the kiva, and through the reed they sent Kisa, the great hawk, and she came back eventually with a sprig of grass. This signified that the second world, Potpella, had been born, and the hatch was slid open from the kiva, and the people emerged on the big ladder. And they spread far and wide, and this time they were very wise. This time they used their minds, and they created incredible things with tools. And they sang the songs of the Creator, and they sang the songs everywhere. Until, of course, a few people forgot. And so another purging happened. This time a great fire spread. Eventually the people emerged out of the kiva into the third world. And then the fourth world, which is the world that we're in now. And the Hopi call this world Koinaskatsi. Koinaskatsi. It means the world out of balance. Now on Hopi reservation, the elders took me to a big rock, about half the size of this room, massive stone. Strangely enough, all around it is like a big refuse tip. But I'll tell you about that another time. Because on this sacred rock, which is at the core of their mythology, is a path, and it's called the Good Red Road, and it wiggles along sideways, and you can see pictures and pictograms of historical moments in the history of the Hopi. And at this point in time on that pictogram, the road forks, and one road meanders off and just sort of peters out and doesn't go anywhere, and the other road goes off into the distance. That junction is where we're at now. This is Koinaskatsi. And the Hopi prophecy, just like the Mayan prophecy and many other ones around the world, talks of this time. They talk of 2012, in fact 2013. And at this point, we're involved in the transition between the fourth world and the fifth world. And this is an amazing opportunity for us. And the Hopis took me into the kiva and they said, you're going to talk to people. You're going to speak to the people, and we're telling you this so that you can tell them. That we have to take responsibility for ourselves by going inwards, by looking inside ourselves and finding what is true to who we are as an individual. And from this place from within, and knowing this connection with Spirit, we can then put this into our actions and bring it outward and manifest it with absolute power and integrity. And by doing this, we can play our part in manifesting the fifth world. And the fifth world is amazing. It's beyond our wildest dreams almost as individuals. But together, the dreams that we each hold are coming together and forming little pictures. Now, how many of you are starting to see a glimpse of what potential there is in the future? Are you getting little insights? Or put it another way, how many of you are experiencing more synchronicity in your lives? Everyone that I meet is. Even Joe Bloggs is. And Joe Bloggs' wife. who knows nothing about what I'm talking about. And yet, when I talk to the public, when they're on holiday from their jobs in factories in the north of England and their poor lifestyles that they have, they listen to this and they're hungry for it. And they look at me and they nod like you are. And they go, yeah, I know what you mean. I have no idea what you mean, but I know what you mean. Because it's affecting all of us, every single being. All of us is involved in this change, this shift that is going on. We are creating the fifth world, right now. So, this is why I'm doing this, because I feel I have a responsibility. I have been gifted the gift of being able to play these instruments. And it's taken me a long time, 26 years I've been playing instruments all over the world. I've been around the world 25 times. I play music in sacred sites. I play with indigenous people. I play in the most outrageous places that you could not imagine, and I couldn't imagine either. But I'm being guided by spirit all the time to do this. And it gets greater and bigger and greater and bigger. As long as I'm doing it for the highest good of myself and the whole. As long as I'm doing it as my giveaway for the whole. And if we're in service like this in our lives, then we find all the support and all the nurturing that we need. It's beautiful. And my teachers call it the beauty way. I live the beauty way. And the simple reason for being is to create more beauty in everything, physical and non-physical. And once you know why you're here, and it's that simple, it takes a huge amount of yearning and searching out of life. Like a lot of indigenous people, they don't have that feeling of, I wonder what I should be doing, I wonder what my role in life is. They just know. And we are learning to know again. We're remembering. And personally, I find that a tremendous relief. So that, I think, kind of puts what I'm doing in context a bit. And one of my teachers was this Native American elder. She was called Arwen Dreamwalker. And I shall never forget Arwen, because she was the toughest teacher I've ever had. She was absolutely ruthless and spoke every minuscule, minute bit of her mind. Bang, you know. And one time we went on a walk together as a group of us, and we walked to the centre of what's called the Glastonbury Zodiac. And it's a sacred landscape that's laid out over an area of about 30 miles. And each area of the landscape is a different sign in the zodiac, and there's 13 of them. And in the middle is this forest. And we went into the middle of the forest one day to do ritual. And I sat down under this old yew tree. And yew trees are really old. They often have been a yew tree in the same space for thousands of years. And they die from the inside and then self-seed another one that grows up the middle and then just comes out. So they just keep on going like this. They're incredible. And I sat and did this ritual underneath this yew tree and saw this amazing vision, which I'll share with you. And in the vision, I went down underneath the roots of the tree into a cave that was under there. And there was a river flowing through the cave. And suddenly, in the river, appeared this white canoe. And it was called the Spirit Canoe. And it was glowing. It was just beautiful. And there were 4 old elders sitting in it, just gliding down. And this voice said, the sound is like a spirit canoe that takes you gliding down the river of your dreaming. The sound is like a spirit canoe that takes you gliding down the river of your dreaming. And then I came back. And Arwen said, well, what do you see? So I told her. And she said, Yep, that's right. Good. She's cool. In that tradition, you're an adolescent until you're 56. At that point, when I met her, she said, "What are you doing here? You're just a kid." I'm an adolescent still. All right, let's journey. that this journey experience is an inspiration to you. And mostly I hope that it inspires you to look within and continue to look within. As Donovan said, the domain of angels is but a blinking of an eyelid away. Blessings on your journeys. Thank you.